Create with Fran Sidney. Hello everyone and welcome to the show. I am Fran Sidney and I am your host, and I'm quite happy to be recording today episode 99. So it's been almost a year and I'm very excited to have so many thousands of downloads and people who are writing their first reviews. So if you haven't done it, please do so. Write a review, share this episode with other people so they can enjoy learning about what we can do to design the life that we want. So tune in if you want to know something about a very specific topic, the accountability partners, and how they can help us to really create the life we want. Stay tuned. Before we delve into the topic, let's describe a typical business owner day, or maybe the Mother's Day, or somebody who has big dreams but is never getting to achieve them and wonders why. And we talked about it, self-sabotage, procrastination. But let's go through this day. You are sitting there in front of your computer, in front of your washing machine, in front of a table, the TV, Facebook, and you know you should be doing that work you really need to be doing, that marketing, those videos you really need to launch your product. You need to take care of your accountancy, there is shopping to do, very important things to do, chasing up your past clients, making sure everything is ready, preparing your batch of content. Whatever there is, you have a list. You worked on this, you are clear on what you want. Your list is immaculate. Your post-it notes are perfect. They're all aligned like soldiers. Everything is looking great on your wall or in your notebook. But something happens. Lunchtime comes and you're not even completely dressed. You might have popped into the shops for some quick foods as the fridge was half empty as you just discovered you forgot the shopping. You might have spent a couple of hours answering unrelated emails and messages that have nothing to do with your business or with the purpose of your life today. You might have spent in those hours some unspecified time checking your social media, answering messenger messages, and seeing what your friends, colleagues, children, husbands and wives are posting on today, and just to check that everyone is okay. Comes the afternoon, you feel guilty. You have done some work, you have done a few things, and you know you must take a lot more action today, so you sit in front of your computer, you sit in front of your desk, and you get this blank mind. Then evening arrives. You can hardly remember what you've done today, and even better, you can remember what you have actually accomplished that was in your list, and you feel this vague sense of failure. Then it's time to prepare dinner or to eat dinner with your loved ones, and maybe you quickly craft a message that you post on 3 web pages just to realize later on that you have 4 typos in your message, so now you have to go and retrieve every message, edit and repost, or whatever is the task you were going to do today. You screwed up a little bit because something went wrong because you just did it without quite thinking. And you are fully aware that you can do this better. You're intelligent, you're smart, you're well trained, you can do better. And yet you're not taking action and you're stuck. I'm sure that this will sound familiar to some of you guys listening to me. So if this is the case, I'm here to help. If you have listened to my previous episodes, you will remember that I've already talked about procrastination, self-sabotage, and overwhelm. And these are 3 main issues that do affect the great majority of human beings at some point in their life as they're trying to go from point A to point B. So don't think for even 1 minute that you are alone. We tend to procrastinate things that are confusing, overwhelming, difficult, or just plain painful. So you can just join the club. However, as you are listening to me, I will help you to get that club membership erased. And how, you will ask? Well, simple. You need an accountability partner, and you need it now. I'm going to tell you why. So first of all, let's define what is an accountability partner. So this is just a person or maybe a group of persons, a forum, an organization. And this person, group of persons, you are accountable to them. With these people or this person, you discuss your business, your plans, your personal plans, your business plans, whatever it is. You share your deadlines, when you want to do things and by when. And you update them all the time as you progress and take another step, and they ask you how you're getting on, and you tell them what's happening. So that's what really is a partner. I'm going to put in an accountability partner, just say a partner, to avoid repeating the same long word all the time. So this type of partnership gives you what you really need. It gives you a listening ear. It gives you advice. Sometimes it can give you even mentoring. But most of all, it helps you to turn those ideas that you have in your mind and to spring them into action instead of them swimming in your mind for months until they drown and in confusion and overwhelmed and nothing ever happens. It makes you feel guilty, doesn't it? So when you have an accountability partner, this is such a good way of growing your business, of getting your goals there, whatever they are. Could be emotional goals, could be family improvement goals, relationship goals. It's just so good. There are solid reasons why having somebody to talk to that is not emotionally involved in the action that you need to take is so good. So I wanted to consider 10 things that may happen when you are working with such a type of partner. Let's have a look and see if any of these things resonates with you, if it's something that you might need, something that you were looking for. And if that's the case, write it down and do something about it, and do it today. So number one thing is that when you have such a partnership, you get a kind of a sounding board for your ideas, for your doubts, when you ask yourself, is this going to work or not? Am I going mad here? So you get a healthy dose of reality check, because this person or these people are talking to you down to earth and say, well, do you really think that that's going to work? Or yes, this is going to work. And so they can really boost your confidence. And when you are getting stuck all the time, boosting that confidence is a great way of moving forward with more energy. Number 2, your motivation increases when you're working with a partner, because now you have deadlines. You have someone very specific who will ask you, how are things going? And this will end your procrastination, because it's just simply impossible to ignore this person with whom you have an agreement and just say, don't talk to me today. Well, why did you get into the agreement? So I'm just making assumptions here that you have clear goals. You know what you want. You know when you want it from and by. You have your resources. You do not have mental issues or anything mad. You're not a victim of abuse or something really major there that is stopping you. Just a normal person, intelligent, educated, everything is going well. You're good, but things are not happening. So everything else is in place. Then procrastination will just stop when you have a person coming back to you and asking you, how are you getting on with the project, John? Number 3, your focus will suddenly improve, because you need to report how you are using your time, how you manage the task. So you will see that it's a lot easier to steer away from distractions, from social media, from too many drinks and snacks, from going out for a quick walk. You're like, oh my gosh, I really have to do this. I'm going to talk to Jenny today, so I really want to do it by 5 p.m. So you sit down there and do your job. And that's amazing. Number 4, when you have the feeling of being confused, overwhelmed, I don't know where to start, I don't know what to do next. These tend to decrease a lot when you're working with a partner, because they help you to break down into smaller steps all those things that you need to do. So they help you to chunk everything down and to say, okay, don't worry, don't overthink this. If you just take one action today and you regularly do more actions and then more and one every day, you will get there. And so they encourage you. You have steps that you can afford to do, that you can do, And this overwhelming feeling, I can't do it, it just goes away. And that is a huge emotional rescue. And let's talk about cognitive bias. We are so good at giving excuses and rationalizing on why we're not doing this and why we're not doing that. But when you have an accountability partner, this bias is confronted with reality. You have a person there and you can reflect together with this person and really talk about what's actually happening. So there is no space for excuses. You're just going to say, frankly, I couldn't be bothered today. I will do it tomorrow. But that's that. And also hearing yourself saying it. Oh, I sat down and did something else instead. I just couldn't bear it. Then the other person will ask you, what can we do about that? So that you get to move from that little stuck moment. So good. Number 6. When you have an accountability partner, he or she will give you emotional support. And he or she will also believe in your success. Otherwise, they wouldn't work with you, right? Whether it's for free or for money. But these people are also very honest and kind in giving feedback. You wouldn't work with a really rude person that puts you down, that offends you. You would want to work with a person that is kind to you and is open, but is giving you the truth. Because otherwise it wouldn't be a friend, a helpful thing. If it just gives you a lot of empty praise, you wouldn't really be getting better at what you're doing. You would just be stuck exactly as you were before. So as this person is giving you very honest feedback, but is holding you up in your confidence, you will see that you will be wasting less time and you will not have to fix very costly mistakes later on, because you won't be doing impulsive thing or going backwards and forwards to the same thing, going in circles. You will just go forward, then have this feedback, reflect, adjust things, and then take another step. And so I think that's amazing to have this frank, honest feedback. It's really helpful in many, many areas of our life when we want to improve. Of course, all feedback should be given in a lot of kindness and empathy. So we should be able to wrap it properly so people don't feel like they're defeated, they're not worth anything, because then we would defeat the whole purpose of having an accountability partner. And let's move to number 7. So when you're sitting down there with those self-pity based inner chats where, oh my gosh, I'm terrible, this is never gonna work, and I'm always gonna be this way or that way, this is never gonna be successful, and you just sit there swimming again in all this negative self-talk. And we want to swap those with an intellectual challenge, something that will energize us. And that's what happens when you have a partner there that knows your goals and just helps you to snap out of it self-negative chat that tells you, oh, I can't do it. Well, this person will also say to you, yes, you can. And just hearing it once is so good. And I have a few examples, but I better not give them now because they would just stop the flow. But I think it's important to have one person who believes you can do something. And why is that? It's because a lot of people have grown up thinking that they have a lot of boundaries and problems and walls around them. And a lot of this have been caused by how we grew up and by the beliefs we built when we were younger. And others are caused by us overthinking and just really believing that we can't do anything. Well, actually, we are in charge of our life and we can decide a lot of stuff about how we're going to live. So once we have this other person as a sounding board, it's a lot easier to hear them say, no, you can do this, why not? You should do this. And you're like, wow, I can really do that. And as you go to bed, you go to sleep, and your reticular activation system, RAS, it's there working for you, saying, this is possible, you can do this. And then we'll start looking for resources so you can create the goal, get to what you want, manifest it in your life. I think that's amazing. What do you think? And we're now at number 8. Now your risk-taking appetite will increase. All the changes, the subtle changes, big changes that you have to do because of your work, well, they look more appealing now because you have somebody there to back you up. But at the same time, you are saving yourself from causing a disaster because the accountability partner will help you to stay on your course without taking really weird decisions, and they will take you somewhere wrong, maybe in the last minute. And let's go to number 9. In the same moment when you are explaining to others what you will do next, what your goals are, and why you're doing them, it will clarify your reason for doing something, your whys, your when. You will get a lot more out of your progress charts because you will get the clarity in your mind as words that before they were just thoughts, and now they're becoming something solid. They get on paper. They are part of another person's mind. They get given back to you. They say, what do you mean by that? And you have to explain it, and eventually get so clear that gives you so much more clarity on what you're doing, so much more focus, so much more energy, because it's a lot narrower than just being very, very, very generic, like saying, oh, I want to become a hairdresser. When? In 10 years, in 2 years, in 6 months, when you retire? And what kind of hairdresser, women or men? I don't know. Do you want to do children in particular? Do you want to do color? Are you going to be Afro specialized? What is it? You have no idea. So, a mentor would teach you how to do it, but an accountability partner will take you through all these steps that you have agreed before and say, all right, what do you need to do next? What is the next thing? It will take you forward, and you will just feel this energy, which is an awesome way of going forward and not losing the initial amount of enthusiasm that we all have in the beginning, and then after 1 week we kind of like flop right down. So that's why we have that partner. Number 10, if you have found the right accountability partner, you will be taking action, you will be progressing, and you will be feeling the right amount of energy to propel you forward, but not so much that you are drowning in a list of things to do, and then you feel guilty because you can't do them, and you feel like, oh, I'm not good enough. So you will be stretching yourself, but not to the point that you will be breaking down. And you won't feel like you're running all the time. You'll feel like it's okay for you, that's your pace, you have established this, you have agreed on that. So I think these are good things to look forward to. So if in this moment of your life you're wondering why your dream of doing something is not becoming a reality, having an accountability partner is a great strategy. And this kind of relationship that you can forge today could help you with most things that you are thinking about. You might want to change your job or career. You might be looking for a suitable partner, business or emotional. You might want just to simply make those videos that you really want to do for your business and you procrastinated for months. You might want to launch a marketing campaign or help your children with their studies, or whatever you've been dreading. You can conquer a bad habit that is ruining your health. Whatever it is, if you have the partner, it's a lot easier. You have a friend, you have a person to talk to. So if you feel that this is for you, now you'll be wondering where on earth you can find such an amazing accountability partner. And rightly so. So let's talk about that. So personally, I think that the type of person you want really depends on the task that you want to undertake and the level of expertise and of support that you require and how long it's going to be for, etc. So maybe you want to jot down a few notes, or what are you looking for? What are your goals? And then you can ask yourself, what type of person or group could help with this? And I have just 5 types for you. And just like a springboard, you can then develop your own ideas from this. But I think generally speaking, we have number 1, we have a group or a social media forum, maybe on Facebook or LinkedIn or whatever else, where you have members that are all, they're all doing one thing. They're all photographers, or they're all moms, a women business forum, an entrepreneur group, a sporting club, whatever. And they're all happy to exchange ideas in a positive way without jumping on one another. And among them, there will be people that say, you know what, I have this challenge like you. Shall we get together and do some accountability together? And that's wonderful. It's free. And if you find the right person, it will be wonderful. It's a nice way of working together and of growing, and it won't cost you anything, just the time and the energy. The second type of partnership is the one that could be offered by a professional association. For example, you could do some packages, pay for them, and they might have coaching, mentorship, training, and lots of solutions, including accountability partners. And might charge for those services, might not, might give you work to do with other students or trainees. So that's quite a good thing, maybe very good for business ideas. Number three is a friend. You just find a friend who's very, very much around you all the time, is amazing and supporting you as he is already, doesn't have to make an effort. And this friend has this capability of making you feel great about your achievements. However, he's a friend that you've noticed can be quite frank, quite direct when it's needed, but still kind. So it helps you to move, and it's not pushy, but it just lets you know, well, are you sure you done that? And so it always makes you reflect. That would be an amazing thing. It's a friend. Is this friend open to help you? Number 4, a colleague. It could be just a person like you. They're doing the same job, or maybe they've lost as much weight as you wanted to lose. They are as fit as you want to be, or they play the piano as well as you want to learn, whatever. So this person has already done what you aim to achieve. They are where you want to be, and they've been where you are. So they can share a lot of expertise. They can also pat you on the back when you're feeling a bit low and things are not really going well. They can help you say, well, you know what, I also had this moment when this happened, but things get better. So a person that has the same training or the same experience that you are having now, it's amazing. And number 5, you might want to go a step further, and you might want a person that helps you coping with your emotions. For example, a mental health professional, a coach, a therapist, a person who is willing to work with you for a set period of time, and that will keep you motivated and will keep you energized at the professional level. So maybe a person that will be able to tell you, well, your mind now is playing tricks. And so you might be having an anxiety issue or whatever. I'm not going to start with another list now, right? But so they will help you to understand why the action is not happening. Because, sometimes a friend is well-intentioned, a forum on the internet is well-intentioned, but not everyone is able to understand why something is not happening. And sometimes you need to go back to square one and see, okay, if I'm still doing this, even after working with an accountability partner who's an amazing person, what is really going on? And then you do a little bit more investigation, work with your mind, use those mind hacks to see why this is happening. So what you see, just a symptom, is just a tip of the iceberg. But what is really underneath? That's always interesting. So, of course, there will be a lot more possibilities, but I think that these 5 types are pretty much what you want from now. And you may have already in mind something very new, very exciting, that will support you while you're swimming against the current of your own distractions and all these excuses of why something has not happened today. So, in a way, if you think about it, an accountability partner is pretty much like our parents, In an ideal world, the perfect parent, who is it? Is a partner that helps you. They help you, they listen to you, they encourage you, and as you grow up, they expect you to do work. But at the same time, they are giving you unconditional love, energy, affection, time, sometimes funds. This is all amazing. And as I said, in an ideal world, not everyone has such parents. But as we grow up, even those amazing parents, they age and they die and they pass away, or maybe you are so far away, you don't really get them to be involved in your life as much, and you want somebody else who is not emotionally involved with you. So as you grow up, you want something more specific, more professional, who is more expert in some field. So this is why you might want to look into different fields and see what resonates with you, what is useful for you in this moment. And you can always change, because if you see that your partnership is not getting you somewhere and you're doing all you can, but the other person is just super critical, always negative, or maybe they're positive and you have a negative one, then you can kind of reset yourself and say, okay, what can I do now? So I hope that this makes sense. So thank you so much for being with me today. And this was like 25 minutes of talking about something that I think is very, very, very important. How to get extra help when we want to get to our goals, but somehow we're not getting there. And yet we're sane and we're good and we're clear and it's all into place, but something is missing. And what is missing could just be your accountability partner. Let me know if this was useful for you, and please share the episode and click like and make sure you write a review. Thank you for being with me, and I'll see you next week. We will be talking about communication again. Take care. Bye. You've listened to Create with Fran Sidney.